Okay, today we have the Westside Boat Shop XR5 wildwater racing boat. I'm about to go take it for a spin, not because it's fit for purpose, but because it happens to be the only boat I have with me on this trip. Let me flip it over and show it to you. This one is a little scraped up, but not in bad shape. It's got mostly a rounded hull with some wings on the side, and those wings give you a little bit of buoyancy once you kind of lean on edge. And it's just a classic wildwater racing design. These are built to actually race through class 2, class 3 rapids and go as fast as possible in straight lines down the river. So that's what I planned for today. You will see me get started in just a few seconds through the magic of editing. So now I'm getting the boat set up for myself, and now I understand why this boat seemed really small for me. The original owner cut off the seat and bolted in a bracket and then moved the whole seat forward. So I'm working on that, and they also put foam on the seat that I'm soaking in isopropyl alcohol, and I will scrape that off. And then I will get this seat put back in further back for me, and then it should be a comfy fit. But with these old Westside boats, you just never know what you're going to get when people change the original and try to set them up. Sometimes you get some very creative backyard mechanic, garage mechanic modifications. Not what I would have done, but that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, so here we have sort of an infield modification. I took the seat off and then slid it back, drilled new holes, moved it back probably 2 inches on either side. There goes my lighting. Not ideal, but I want to paddle this tomorrow, and I'm out of town. When I get home, I've got everything I need, including new seats to put in here. And this also had, the original owner had glued some foam in here, which just interfered with my lower spine. It's not as good as a fit as it should have been for me. Again, the original owner must have been a very small person, or possibly even a child, because they moved that seat very far forward with the foot pegs very close and even foamed that in. So small paddler, obviously, but this XR5 is ready to go tomorrow on another trip with me. And like I said, I'm out of town. Pick this up in New York State. I want to get in some paddles before I head home to Virginia with it. So this is kind of the best I could do on short notice with limited tools, but this should be in a much better position for me personally paddling it tomorrow. Hey everyone, Dave back with you today. Today I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania on Presque Isle. Now this is a wonderful state park. I'm at a place here called Perry's Point, and somewhere behind me you're going to see Perry's Monument. Where is it? It's in through the trees there, if you can see it. That's in, it kind of memorializes Commodore Perry. You're going to have Misery Bay out actually on the other side of the peninsula, and then you've got like a little inlet here, and I'm going to paddle in here. And then I can go into some lagoons inland here. It's beautiful marshland with lots of wildlife. I will check in later, but this should be a fun little trip. There's a lot of wreck kayakers out there, and this is kind of a wreck kayaking mecca around here. So come check it out. It's a great place to paddle. All right, so here I am on the other side of the point here. There's Perry's Monument right there. And if I just spin around, you will see downtown Erie, Pennsylvania, right across the way here. This is a beautiful spot for wreck kayaking. This is really as cool as you can get. You're in a protected bay. You can go out to Lake Erie if you want, or you can go inland into the marshes and what they call the lagoons. So that little repair I did in the garage last night seems to have done the trick. I'm going to spin the camera around here. But I put the seat as far back on these brackets as it would go. And boy, I thought it was going to be close for me, but this fits me like a glove. I like these hung seats. I got all that padding off of it. I'm just going to, when I get home, I'm going to cut off these rough edges here, these rough corners, shave off those metal brackets, and this seat is good to go for me. This boat now fits me perfectly like a glove. Okay, so there we have it. That was my paddle around Presque in Lake Erie in the lagoons. Now, I had to participate in a bit of a rescue here today. There was a family of 5 out there. I'm going to call dad and a young sibling in a tandem kayak in front, then teenage boy in the middle in what looked like an Old Town Vapor kayak. These were obviously rentals, and then mom and younger daughter, younger sister in a tandem. Bringing up the rear, I was paddling up from behind them, and I see teenage boy in the middle do a spin to turn around to see what mom and little sister are doing. Next thing you know, he flipped over. I won't say he panicked, but he was concerned and he wasn't entirely sure what to do. So that boat has a plug in the front. I told him just grab onto the front of his mom's boat, and then we flipped his boat over, pulled the drain plug, and then pulled it up onto the tandem upside down, little by little, until all the water drained out. Then I screwed the plug back in and asked mom to just chuck it back into the water right side up, and then held the front of the boat while teenage boy side hootled up the rear of it and got back in the cockpit. All's well that ends well. He was fine. I think he said he lost his phone, and maybe that's a couple pieces of advice for beginners. If you're out wreck kayaking and you're renting, don't just take your phone with you and leave it on the bottom of the boat. Put it in a dry bag and attach that to the inside of the boat, or at the very least, put your phone in a Ziploc bag inside a pocket in the life jacket. You don't want that thing to be vulnerable. Best case is a dry bag tied to the inside of the boat. And then secondly, I would say, even if you're wreck kayaking, don't assume you're not going to flip. Assume you will flip, and think about what will you do when you do flip. This kid, his boat was completely filled with water. He really didn't know what to do. I was glad I was there to be able to help, because I'm not sure mom and dad with much younger siblings could have done a whole lot either. But there you go. When you watch my tracks that you just watched, that point in the lagoon where I stopped for a few minutes, that's where that rescue took place. It's really hot. I'm done for the day, and until next time, loves this sport, take what it has to give you, and pay it forward.
When you want an extraordinary racing kayak made in the finest American tradition, or maybe just own a piece of American kayaking history, you want a West Side Boat Shop kayak, now available from davethekayaker.com. West Side Boat Shop kayaks. The tradition continues.